Let's be honest. Talk about the Black American and Jewish American alliance sounds worn out and tired today, even to many Black and Jewish Americans. So Black people and Jewish people marched together during the Civil Rights Movement. So what? Save your shared histories of suffering and overcoming for your next sermon. Strong criticism clarifies the truth. And the truth is that the Black American-Jewish American connection is real. And the story of that connection transmits human vitality that remains relevant today for all Americans. If you believe in the enduring nobility of the American experiment, the dream of a society in which people of all hues and from all backgrounds meet on the elevated plane of human excellence, then it's worthwhile listening again to the story of the Jewish and Black American connection, but a little deeper than we're used to. Let's step back. American history includes tragic lows and brilliant highs. It also includes a distinct sense of life that emerged from within the Black American community, a heroic, joyful, open, and affirmative sense of life that was then stylized in the great American art forms of blues and jazz. And here is the essential point. Anyone, of any skin tone, and from any background, can learn the cultural vocabulary and participate in that sense of life. The great American philosopher of blues idiom wisdom, Albert Murray, called this culture Omni-American, meaning for all Americans, because all Americans can join in. That's exactly what happened with Black and Jewish Americans. But the Civil Rights Movement was only Chapter 2. Chapter 1 goes back to January 16, 1938, when that same joyful and affirmative sense of life blew the roof off Carnegie Hall. That night, for the first time, the most prestigious American institution of concert music gave center stage to jazz, and Benny Goodman, the Jewish American band leader, was given the gig. What did Benny do? He opened the stage to Black American master musicians such as Count Basie, Lester Young, Freddie Green, Johnny Hodges, Cootie Williams, Benny's friends and bandmates Teddy Wilson and Lionel Hampton, and others. Benny's decision to open the bandstand was the first time that a major American cultural institution had been integrated. Remember, this was almost 10 years before Jackie Robinson integrated baseball. What gave Benny Goodman, Lionel Hampton, Teddy Wilson, and others the strength to desegregate Carnegie Hall? Benny wanted to share the stage with great musicians who loved the music. In other words, a simple love of human excellence, people coming together to share their individual best as part of a joyful team, gave Benny and friends the strength to stomp the blues of segregation. Jazz is, after all, heroic music. Go back and listen to the recording of Sing, Sing, Sing from that night. The generation dancing in the aisles at Carnegie Hall, and they were dancing in the aisles, defeated the Nazis. You want to know how monumental that night was? Lionel Hampton says that after the Carnegie Hall show, everybody went up to the Savoy in Harlem to catch a cutting contest between the Count Basie and Chick Webb bands, with Billie Holiday, Jimmy Rushing, and Ella Fitzgerald starring as vocalists. This is how Hamp remembers it. People shouted, stomped, and waved handkerchiefs. I didn't sleep at all that night and was still so hyped up the next day that I couldn't sleep all the next day either. When you're not sleeping for days and nights from an excess of positive affirmative energy, you're starting to speak in biblical terms. And if you still find it hard to believe that deep down the same heroic spirit that rocked Carnegie Hall also brought people together during the Civil Rights Movement, check out Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s notes to the opening of the 1964 Berlin Jazz Festival. God has wrought many things out of oppression. He has endowed his creatures with the capacity to create, and from this capacity has flowed the sweet songs of sorrow and joy that have allowed man to cope with his environment in many different situations. Jazz speaks for life. The blues tell the story of life's difficulties, and if you think for a moment, you will realize that they take the hardest realities of life and put them into music, only to come out with some new hope or sense of triumph. This is triumphant music. Jazz is triumphant music, and the civil rights movement was a triumphant social political movement, and Black Americans and Jewish Americans triumphantly took the stage for both. So the next time you hear about the Black American, Jewish American alliance, remember that we're talking about something much larger than anecdotal evidence and feel-good sermons. We're talking about an American-born and raised heroic sense of life that manifests itself in a love of human excellence, and that, by definition, is opposed to racism, anti-Semitism, and every kind of bigotry. Jewish Americans receptively integrated this heroic sense of life into their souls. And for the future of America and the enduring vitality of the noble American dream, it's worthwhile revisiting and retelling this story.